Hello, people of the internet! I'm Marlow Everly, and this is my new show, Can She Craft It? This is part 4 of my transformation into Gellert Grindelwald. If you missed parts 1 through 3, definitely check them out on my channel. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make an elder wand from scratch. You can, of course, purchase a wand through Amazon or at Universal or at Ollivander's Wand Shop, but that all costs money. Cue musical theater moment. Money makes the world go round, world go round, the world go round. Money makes the world go round, a clinking, clanking sound. So with a few basic craft supplies, I was able to make one for a whopping $0 extra. Keep watching if you want to learn how to craft the most powerful wand and save some money. For this project, you're going to need a wire cutter, some floral wire, and Crayola Model Magic. So I'm just cutting the floral wire with the wire cutters on my needle nose pliers, and this is a heavy gauge floral wire so it doesn't bend. And then I'm just wrapping the Model Magic around the wire, and then I'm rolling it down the wire to spread it out evenly. If you've never used Crayola Model Magic before, it is a fantastic air drying clay. It is absolutely mess-free, super lightweight. If you're ever making makeup looks and need a cheap material to work with, this is your stuff. So now I am just forming, basically there's these orb shapes on the elder wand. So I'm just working the clay down, pinching it between my fingers, and kind of shaping it into these orbs. Don't worry if the clay has some wrinkles in it. This actually will lend itself to later on when we start dry brushing it. I'll explain how we do that later in the video. But basically, all of those little wrinkles will help add depth because black paint will get trapped in them. And then when we dry brush over with like browns, you'll still have that really cool black deep within the clay. So I actually kind of like the wrinkles in not a super smooth finish. Also, my camera cut out before I could show you, but after I create these orbs and get the clay all over the floral wire, I'm going to create texture myself by actually dimpling the clay with another floral wire. When I did this, I accidentally dimpled the entire wand because I wasn't looking at my reference too closely. It's really only dimpled on the orb. So I basically just press the other piece of floral wire onto the clay and it will make little dimples and indentations. So just do it on the orbs. Don't do it all over because it's supposed to kind of look like wood grain in between the orbs. Now I'm just going to let this dry, and sometimes when you use Model Magic you do get cracks whenever it dries, especially if it's older Model Magic. So I'm just going to go in with some home spackle that I had lying around to correct this. So I'm basically just filling in any crack that I see. I'm going to let the spackle dry. I'm going to remove the excess. You can either just rub your fingers over it or you can wet sand it if you really want a smooth finish. And then I'm going to seal that with some Mod Podge. Now it's time to paint our wand, and we're going to do a dry brushing technique. So the first step of that is to saturate the wand in black. We want to make sure we get in all of those little dimples that we created and all the little wrinkles so that it's going to have this really cool depth effect. Once the base coat's dry, it's time to start dry brushing, and I've already started. So basically you're going to get a flat brush and you're going to remove the excess paint, and then you're going to just kind of run the brush across the top of the surface. You don't want to dabble it into those nooks and crannies, because then it's going to coat that black underneath completely, and you don't want that. So to get that really cool depth effect and what creates texture, you just want to run it lightly over the top, and you want a pretty dry brush. So you can either wipe the excess off on your paint tube like I was doing, or you can also use a paper towel and just dab the top of the brush on there. You don't need much paint to get a dry brush effect. So we're gonna let it dry, and I'm just gonna go in and dab this middle part to just really make it nice and perfect. And now we're gonna go in with a second brown color. This is a warmer brown that's gonna give it a really nice wood finish. Whenever you have, you know, a real wood wand, you would have multiple colors of brown in that wood. Very few things in nature are just one color. And now, if you look at your reference for the Elder Wand, the orbs are actually kind of blackened. They almost look charred. So basically, I dipped my brush in water, dried it off a little bit, and then dipped it in the black, and then started dry brushing with the black. Because my brush was wet with water, it's kind of going on very translucent. I don't want to cover that brown up too much. I just wanted to kind of darken it and give it a different feel than the other parts of the wand. This is what it looks like, and our final step is going to be to add the symbols on that middle piece. If you type in or Google basically, I think it was Elder Wand symbol, it has a 2D formation of it, and so it's really easy to see what it looks like, and it makes it easier to break down. So it's just a line with a triangle at the bottom and then a tiny little triangle at the top. This is a 00 paintbrush. It is extremely good for fine lining. And my pro tip on this is, don't worry if you mess up with the black, because you can go back and you can clean it up with the white, and that extra little step will make this look so good. I was doing this, I was holding this wand up, and it was really difficult to film and paint and get it looking nice. So I went back and I corrected it after this, and it looks amazing. So this is what it looks like before I clean it up. That's the final line on there. And so this is the unclean version. And then this is the clean version after I fixed it with white. It's so easy to fix your mistakes that way. So here's the final Elder Wand. And here's the look.
And that's a wrap on Gellert Grindelwald. You officially know how to transform yourself into the dapper dark wizard. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and make sure to turn on notifications if you don't want to miss an episode. Can She Craft It will have new episodes every Monday at noon Pacific Standard Time. Coming up next week, we have Pickett the Bowtruckle, Newt Scamander, and his fantastic beast-filled suitcase. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Can She Craft It. Feel free to share this video and tag me. Thanks again for watching, and as always, keep your wand at the ready.